I'm Jeremy Price from Oakchurch. Here's one of our fields of strawberries that we happen to be picking today. All our strawberries are grown in enquire. So we have these bags that are 1 metre long, and enquire is just coconut hair. So this is compacted and sent over from Sri Lanka, and all it is a growing medium just to grow the fruit in. So we've got 6 plants per metre, and in each plant has its own dripper for feeding it. So every day we'll sort of fill the bag up with water in the morning and fertiliser, so it gets to the end of the day, and if it's not quite enough, if we have a warm day, then we'll give it another shot of water a bit later on. So these plants arrive frozen. We would have planted these in about March, and then we'd have had a little flush. There was about 300 grams in them at the time when they arrived, and then we had to get the fruit out of them. So they were only 1 crown. If you look in here, there's probably 8 or 9 crowns. So when they arrived, there had just been one of these crowns, and it had 300 grams in it. And then through the season, they're ever-bearer strawberries. So through the season, they keep growing, and every time they produce another crown, then there's a little bit more fruit in there. So hopefully it's a continuous amount right the way through the season. This along here, when the fruit comes out, so we'll end up once a week roughly, as the flowers come out, we'll pull those flowers out of here, and as the flower turns to a fruit and the weight comes on, they'll come down and sit on the tape, and the tape is there to make sure that the flower trusses don't kink. So once a week we'll be pulling those trusses out. I'm not very good at it. Just like that, so that we can see them, and then you've got a nice amount of airflow around the fruit, so that makes it nice and firm as well. Hopefully it makes it nice and firm. And then we try to keep all the leaves up here and all the fruit out there. All the picking is done just there. So just like us, Four Seasons is a family-run business, and they're all about the quality and making sure that your customer enjoys what they have and comes back again. Whether it's a Michelin star restaurant or a grocer's shop, I think we're both after people that want to sell quality and enjoy their fruit. But everybody's after quality, and that's what they require, and that's what we try to deliver all the time. So here we are picking. Obviously I'm not, but we've got a waste tray just there, and then we've got the punnets. Each punnet has a little bubble pad in the bottom just to soften it, and you can see how nice and quick it is. All the fruit is just there, and then they'll pick it without touching the fruit and pop it straight in the punnet with a calyx. With a calyx that's just long enough that your fingers don't touch the fruit. So you can see the trolleys are just the right height that they go underneath the tabletop and the strawberries without touching the fruit. And we've even got springs on here just to soften the blow of the fruit as it's working. So we've got a waste tray, and that'll either go for making smoothies or jams and things like that. And so it doesn't get wasted. So another reason that we remove that is it just cleans up the field and so that we don't have pests and disease on the field. How we try to deal with the pests is with predators. So some of our main pests would be thrips, which would walk around the flower and give you a little bit of bronzing on your fruit, which you may have seen. Red spider, which obviously sucks from the plant. So here, this is one of the bottles we've been using, which was Spidex, which are a predator for red spider. So what happens is there's this sort of powdery like coir-like material, which when they arrive, and it's got the red spider mixed in with air. So you'd note on here there would be 10,000 predators of Spidex, and we'd know that we want so many predators per metre, and somebody would go along just tapping out and getting, dropping them on there as we go, and they'd then got to find a spider, eat the spider, and then they'll start to breed, and hopefully they'll beat the spider population in multiplying. We'll have 20 pickers. We'll have 1 supervisor in the row checking that they're picking their fruit properly, 2 they're cleaning the rows properly, and then each picker has an individual number, so they'll put a barcode on every single tray. So it goes from the field to the scales. We'll check it again one more time before it goes to the pack house. They'll then just run a bleeper across it so that we got a record of what everybody's done, and then we know exactly which field, the supervisor, the picker, so we've got complete traceability. The farm started, Mum and Dad got married, I think it was about 1970, I wasn't around at the time. They bought the farm straight away. Mum came from a pick your own strawberry farm, so they started off with mixed, that was corn, cattle and a few sheep, and then they started with a pick your own. Pick your own were very good to start. Deep freezers had just come out, so everybody would come out when I was a little boy, about that high, mum, dad and 2 kids. They'd all have a 12-pound basket in each hand, so you know, they were going out with plenty of fruit. And then over time that started to slide off, so they then started selling to the wholesale market. They then went to supermarket. Then after a while we decided we weren't that fussed on supplying the supermarkets, and we then focused just on quality. So for us now everything is about quality, so we're looking for customers that really appreciate and want to eat their fruit, and you know, we're aiming to deliver a good quality product that people remember, and we want them to buy our product again. That's one of the key things now. So we did go through growing up to 120 acres of strawberries, and now we just grow what we can sell ourselves, and that's a few strawberries, raspberries, runner beans and cherries, and that's what we specialise in now, and we aim for quality customers who appreciate quality. Obviously we have a supervisor checking in the field. As we said, every tray gets a barcode, so we know who's picked it, what time, who supervised it, who then scaled it, and how quickly everybody's working. And we've got traceability on it right through to the pack house, and from there on. So this is our final check. So they'll then check the quality. He's got a walkie-talkie, so if he's got an issue with anything in that tray there, it goes straight back to the supervisor. So we'll make sure they're all the same weight going into the pack house. And then following on from here, we have a pickup comes and collects it straight back to the blast chiller, so it gets chilled as quick as possible, and then it gets packed. So here we are on the 8th of August, and these strawberries were only planted 2.5 weeks ago. So what we did is to make sure that we had strawberries at Wimbledon, we took out some frozen plants that arrived that we knew that we were going to pick at Wimbledon time, and then as soon as we'd finished picking them, we removed those plants, and 2.5 weeks ago we planted these. And as you can see, they came with a crown, and we know that there's about 400 grams of fruit in each plant that we'll then pick through sort of latter. Well, you can see the flowers coming out now. It's probably 4 to 5 weeks for that flower to turn into a fruit to be picked. So here we are, early August, and our raspberries are really just getting going now, and we're incredibly proud of these. They look great, they taste great. I wouldn't like the pickers to do this. You know, you can chuck them up in the air and catch them, and they're still in perfect condition. And not only that, they taste absolutely fantastic as well. And here we are, everybody busy working, and one of our tractor drivers has found a better use for a mower. Here's one of our cherry orchards. We only planted these trees about 5 or 6 years ago, these trees. We had a little bit of a mishap. The one variety, it was a new variety that has now been replaced with the smaller trees that we planted this year. They split. So as soon as it rained, the cherry would get a split, so it was no good for selling then. But as you can see in here, we got grass right the way through, and then the old coir, which the coir is the coconut hair that we've had from the bags on the strawberry plants. We then recycle that the following year and put it underneath here as organic matter. There has been a bit of pruning gone on here. Then we've got a bit more organic matter here in the middle. So as soon as we take the polythene off and the worms get back into action, they'll have a field day. So here we are, we've in one of our cherry orchards. It's August, so we've finished picking now, and now we're pruning to make sure that we've got everything ready for next year. So really we want an A-shaped tree. Cherries naturally want to grow up in the top because they're quite a vigorous plant. So we've got to prune a lot of that out. We try to create a sort of A-shaped tree to get light in from everywhere. And the harder we prune, the bigger fruit we'll get next year. So you'll see that this will be like this year's growth, and we'll only want to keep a certain amount of this because that'll fruit next year and the following year. So we don't want the plants getting too big. You can see here we start off with quite a lot of foliage. And if you see on the bottom side, this is a tree that we've pruned, which it looks like absolutely nothing, but the following year it'll look similar to what we've just looked at. And in between, working with each tree, they'll dip their pruner, because where they've made a cut, if they don't, they may get bacterial canker, so they'll dip that in a disinfectant to make sure they don't take any disease from tree to tree. And we'll have somebody who will be coming behind as well, just painting all those, just with emulsifying paint, just to stop canker getting in. This is just one of the trees that we've painted every single cut that we've made, and that's just simple emulsifying paint just to seal the top off. and stop it getting canker. So we start picking as soon as it's light, generally 5, at the moment it'd be 5:15. We bring it in as quick as we can on pickups to get it chilled. It comes into a blast chiller in here. In here it will take our strawberries about 45 minutes to an hour to come down to a suitable temperature. So we come through the blast chiller, through the holding fridge, and there we are to come to pack it. So we've got 4 people packing it. They check the weight, check the quality, pop a lid on, and then it goes down through the packing line. They'll pack about 60 punnets a minute with a little bit of luck. So it comes down a packing line. Here's a weight checker just to make sure nobody's fudged as they're putting the fruit in to check the weight. And then it goes straight down here and we stick our label on it, and then it's just boxed up and ready to go. So the weight checker here, if somebody's fudged with the weights, it'll blow the punnet off as they come down. It's straight through to the dispatch store, which is obviously chilled again, ready to leave the farm this day. So it's picked this morning, transported straight on your plate the following day. This year we've done a QR code to go on it, and if you scan the code, you go to the page, and we're doing a few little videos of different things that we do on the field so people understand what goes into growing the fruit.